The most important thing for next week in US equities is not whether the market still likes AI. It's whether AI infrastructure spending keeps getting validated by real data and earnings, instead of turning into another late chase story. Last week gave the market real receipts. Key parts of the semiconductor supply chain raised outlooks. Taiwan posted another huge export number tied to AI demand, and US earnings season started better than expected. Now, the market has to prove that leadership can hold through a much heavier week of earnings and macro data. So my one core theme for next week is AI infrastructure Capex confirmation. The market is basically betting that the 2026 AI build-out is still real enough to keep leadership in the first-order beneficiaries of that spend. That matters for US equities because the US is still the demand and valuation center of this theme. If spending stays credible, earnings stay solid, and yields don't jump too hard, the market can keep rewarding growth leadership. But if any one of those breaks, this quickly turns from a clean theme into a much narrower trade. My stance for next week is selective, not full risk on. Yes, the tape looks strong. The S&P 500 closed above 7,000 for the first time. The Nasdaq finished Friday up for a 13th straight session. And breadth improved enough that small caps also pushed back to record territory. But I still don't think this is the week to go from good theme to buy everything. The chosen theme is absolutely a market leader in the US, but it still needs confirmation from earnings, macro data, and rates. The bull case is pretty straightforward. AI-related Capex was just reinforced by fresh guidance from the core infrastructure chain. Earnings season is off to a strong start. Nearly 1/5 of the S&P 500 reports next week. If those results keep coming in well enough, and if retail sales plus Thursday's PMIs don't break the growth backdrop, in that version, the market keeps rewarding the cleanest exposure to real spending, not just speculative noise. The bear case is also clear. First, the rates backdrop is not easy anymore. Reuters reported the market went from pricing 2 Fed cuts in 2026 to 1 at most after the war-driven inflation shock. If Tuesday's retail sales or Thursday's PMIs push yields and the dollar higher, growth multiples can get squeezed fast. Oil collapsed on Friday, but Reuters reported on Saturday that ships trying to cross Hormuz were turned back and some reported gunfire. That means the inflation and shipping risk premium is not fully dead. The first signal is earnings breadth. I'm not just looking for a few strong numbers. I want to see whether the market keeps rewarding the parts of the US market that are closest to real infrastructure demand. The second signal is yields and the dollar. This is huge. The market can live with strong data if rates stay controlled. What it does not want is hot enough implications to push discount rates back up. That is why Tuesday matters so much. The third signal is Thursday's flash PMIs and jobless claims. Those are the fast red macro checks. If PMIs hold up and claims stay tame, the market can keep saying growth is good enough. The fourth signal is breadth. Small caps hitting records was a good sign, but I don't want to overread one move. This is where the discipline comes in. I do think there is one clean theme. A strong theme can still fail as a trade if investors start chasing lower quality second wave stories, or if rates and geopolitics retake control of the tape. The biggest risk to invalidate the theme is a return of macro pressure right when the market is priced for smooth confirmation. That could come from rates, Fed politics, or energy and shipping stress if the Hormuz risk carries into Monday. So the one thing I'm building next week around is AI infrastructure Capex confirmation. If you're into one theme market breakdowns like this, subscribe, and we'll keep checking the same script day by day instead of forcing a new story every morning. This is a forward-looking market review based on current information, not financial advice.